nation's power.
What do you think right now is the biggest threat to women?
President Trump.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
I'm here today as a double minority woman to just march for the people that have fought this fight before me, and just to honor that and to know that our country's moving forward, and hopefully we'll continue to move forward and be, I hope we're advocates for something great.
And when you say double minority, what does that mean, double minority?
I'm an African American and I'm a woman. We definitely...
aren't there more women in the United States than men?
Well...
Okay, hey, what'd I do? You know what I did, all right?
Gender is a social construct, so we want to eliminate it.
Okay, so if somebody said we should kill white people, would that be racist?
No.
Sign here says, my body, my choice, my vote. So do you support the federal government funding Planned Parenthood?
Yes.
Okay. So if abortion is a woman's, if it's a woman's body and a woman's choice, why should it be our financial obligation?
I don't have an opinion on that.
When he was running for office, he followed Mein Kampf, which was the book that Hitler wrote. So he followed it exactly. Instead, they should be investing in a more advanced border security. We don't live in the dark ages anymore.
After Israel built a wall, their illegal immigration dropped by 85 to 90%. If it was successful there, do you think they could also possibly be successful here?
No.
Diet culture. What else do you ladies want to toss in? The lack of intersectionalism. Here we need a little more color.
You can't be racist towards white people, but at the same time, like, maybe like not let they should like die.
Maybe like not let they should like die. They should like die.
That's racist! Well, if you believe that, then like you're probably part of the problem.
So you're not racist?
No.
That was a lie.
I don't think that the government has the right to tell us what we can and can't do with our own bodies as far as taking our own birth control, having our own abortions, because we have our lives to live. We want to be independent, strong women and take over the world, and if that's what we see fit, then that's what we're going to do it.
If you're independent women, why do you need my funding for Planned Parenthood?
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
So there was a women's march that was scheduled in Eureka, which is Northern California, and they actually shut it down because the participants would have been overwhelmingly white. Do you think that's a good reason to shut down a march?
I mean, if they wanted to do that, they could do it.
So the march is too white, shut it down?
Well, it's not because it's too white, it's because a lot of white people...
Well, it's not because it's too white, it's because a lot of white people...
The march would have been overwhelmingly white, and that was their reason in their statement for why they shut it down. Do you think that was justified?
I think I'm just going to stop.
So why would we want to abolish ICE if we're not in favor of open borders?
I don't exactly know what ICE is. The ICE the one that controls the border?
Normally, well, white feminism isn't really feminism.
I don't think any wall belongs anywhere on the planet.
But what do you think his general effect on the country has been?
I can't speak with any political authority other than if he's for it, I'm against it.
Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way.
Hey, tell us about your sign.
I thought it would be a really good thing to put on a sign.
Brilliant, brilliant! When you talk about equality, is equality for who?
Literally everyone. All humans have the right to be equal in our country.
So why are you singling out men? If it's all humans, wouldn't men also fall under the umbrella of equality?
Yes.
So why is it men of quality as opposed to just anybody of quality?
The prophecy is true.
Who would you say is suffering from inequality in the United States right now?
There are a lot of different groups of people who are suffering from
Like who?
inequality. Men, women of all different races, all different kinds of groups.
What are the rights that these people don't have that other people do have?
Yeah. I think I need to go, actually. I need to catch my train.
And Dana has created a sort of mock-up of Donald Trump. Is that Putin holding the videotape?
Yes, it is.
Putin is holding a videotape that says Trump PP tape. And we've got Robert Mueller here wearing a pussy hat. And so how does this empower women?
Well, we're here to march with everybody because we certainly don't believe anything that Donald Trump stands for.
Are you here to show?
We're from Pittsburgh, actually, near where the synagogue shooting was. And we're just against any kind of racism, bigotry, women's rights we're here to fight for.
Oh, all these women.
Let's say somebody hates a black person, they say something anti-black, and they say, well, I'm just speaking the truth, so that doesn't make me a racist.
I mean, that could be true for them if that's how they feel. If that's how they feel, that could be true for them, but I am against that kind of against that kind of thought process.
But you engage in it.
I'm not engaging in it.
Well, do you think that Trump supporters and conservatives would feel welcome and embraced when they saw your sign?
Trump supporters? I'm here.
Yeah, Trump supporting women.
I'm here to march against Trump supporters. I mean.
Oh, so it's an anti-Trump march. It's not a pro-women march.
Oh no, it's a pro-women march.
But not pro-women who support the president.
I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Want your daughter to know that we should impeach the president. Why should we impeach the president?
I want her to know that she can stand up and say what she needs to say.
Is she the one saying it, or did you give her the sign?
That's my sign.
Well, why don't you just tell me the reasons why you'd like the president to be impeached?
I don't want to do this.
But you're intentionally standing here covering up so that this woman doesn't have the same rights as the other women here today.
It's our march.
Our march. So it's not a march for all women, it's only a march for women who have your point of view.
This is
My choice! My body, my choice! My body, my... I don't know what we're yelling about!
Are you concerned about not being able to get an abortion? Are you concerned that you may need to get an abortion?
my body, my choice! My body, my choice!
Loud noises!
So your sign says, I wish my uterus shot bullets so the government wouldn't regulate it. Tell us about that.
Well, I went to the March for Our Lives in Parkland, and it just really affected me a lot, I would say, and like to see like the families and like the kids there that like didn't, you know, that like the whole like shooting and the like guns, like I think it just has an impact, and that every time that there's a march, whether it's a women's march, pride parade, I think it brings like everyone together who like just shares the same thoughts, and yeah.
In Pursuit of Truth presents a dramatic reading with your host, Sir Patrick Mack of Maplethorpe.
How many years until the world ends again? We have 12 years to cut emissions. At least 50%, if not more. And for anyone that wants to make a joke about that, you may laugh, but your grandkids will not. So, understand that the internet documents everything. And for all those people, you know, you want to look about, you want to talk about looking in the back of history, looking backwards. You look back and you open history books and you look at the civil rights movement and you see those folks who were protesting against the ability for African Americans and Black Americans to have the right to vote. And they would hold up these bigoted signs. And they would hold up signs that said things like, "What about white rights?" and all of this stuff in the 1950s, 1960s. So just know that in the present day, there are a lot of people who hide the fact that their families and their grandparents fought against the principles of equal rights in the United States. Not 100 years ago, not 80 years ago, but in this generation's lifetime. So just know that while a lot of people can hide that their grandparents did that in the civil rights movement, you should also know that the internet documents everything. And your grandchildren will not be able to hide the fact that you fought against acknowledging and taking bold actions on climate change. People who are trying to mock and delay this moment, I mean, I just feel bad for you. I just pity you for your role in history right now.